coming.
Do you often dream things that happen just as you dreamed them?
Yes.
And people can capture what's necessary in a book to make it into a movie. Did you help find the through line? Did you help find those pieces?
Well, it's an interesting book because I read it as a kid in high school. I was forced to read it in Pittsburgh. And so the experience reading it then versus reading as an adult, there's just like different themes that kind of appeal to kind of like a wide range of people, you know, where you are in kind of the maturity spectrum, you know. Having Frank's book as kind of the North Star for us was a huge advantage. Obviously, we had the challenge of taking a lot of big ideas, a lot of big themes, and how to kind of tell the story in a way that would be palatable and kind of pull people in and not like give them too much too soon and completely confuse them. And then we had a director who basically was madly passionate about the story and the source material. You know, the unique thing about who Paul Atreides is versus like a Luke Skywalker or Frodo or he's kind of a reluctant, we'll say, chosen one figure, you know? Like
that's what I like about it. That
that
line where his father says, you know, you're going to have to assume it. He says,
I don't want it. Which that is all stuff that we brought into, that was all reshoot stuff, by the way.
Brilliant.
So
connected with fathers
exactly.
And sons.
So there was like so many emotional kind of things that we want to kind of explore. Obviously, there's a big thing in terms of, you know, Leto's dad, in terms of his legacy, and then, you know, Paul losing his father, and ultimately the story, if you look at it from just like the most binary sense, Dune is a story of a kid who's got to kind of become a man to avenge his father's death. Yeah. That's what it is at its most basic element. And so, you know, making sure you had that father-son story was essential. But then there's a reality of, can you really become that person? And the only reason you ever know what you're really capable of doing is by getting kicked around and, you know, enduring some degree of misfortune, challenges, you know, losses in Paul's case, you know, because he loses the things that are most dear to him. And in that loss, he gets to be able to kind of understand what he's truly capable of doing.
For most people, Hollywood is some strange place.
Yeah,
how did
it can
you
be.
get from a military family to Hollywood?
Oh man, how did I do that?
Do you have a short version?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean the good version is, you know, I think it all kind of happens for a reason, and you know, I can look back on it now and think that my childhood and the way that I kind of punted around the world definitely set me up, I think, for success in this town more than anything I learned probably in film school. Wow. So those life experiences that I had, being kind of like a military brat, definitely were kind of helped me kind of understand how to relate to people. And I mean, Hollywood is a very mercurial, strange place, and it's like a big high school cafeteria full of different cliques. Your life in Hollywood is made easier when you can kind of pivot in and out of those cliques. And, you know, there's above the line, there's below the line. Everyone has a job. It takes many different people to kind of make a movie. It's a very collaborative medium, which is a beautiful thing about it. And so the more you can get along with people, the better your chances of success are, you know. And plus, I mean, it is a business that is based on relationships, because just like anything, you like to work with people that you like to be around, you know. So if you can figure out a way to relate to people and create like a really positive experience, it only helps grow your business, your name in the business. So these are all things that you learn when you're moving. You know, I moved 12 times before I graduated high school. So I was the new kid perpetually. You know, sometimes I was the new kid and I would fall on my face, but eventually I learned to kind of never get that down. And I think in Hollywood, you know, if you're going to produce, right, you have to figure out a way to convince people of the things that you really believe in. And most of the time you're going to get no's and like, yeah, you're an idiot, or why would you think I would ever be interested in whatever the concept is. And you can't ever let that stuff kind of cut too deep, you know? And so...
What was your big breakthrough?
My big breakthrough was Elf. But that was, you know, but there were many other things that happened that led me to that movie, you know, and advocating for that movie. that were also breakthroughs that led to that thing. And it's just all one big building block. It's just like Dune is an extension of a lot of different other relationships that I've made through the years, and the movies I'm doing next, I just keep building on the things that I've done. And, and sometimes you get lucky or a production's blessed in ways that you never dreamt possible. Like in the case of Dune, I think we all knew we were going to try to make something special out of a special book, right? Like for me, I was at New Line when we did Lord of the Rings, and I remember what everyone on the outside, what they were saying about us. And, because we were taking fantasy and making a fantasy movie for adults, and no one knew what Lord of the Rings was at the time.
Dune is not only a great movie.
Whoa, that's a fancy one.
Yeah, and it's heavier than the Oscar that you're going to get.
Jeez.
And it's
look at that.
And it says, yeah, take it out.
Yeah, there we go. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Nicely.
Yeah, somebody who'd won a lot of Oscars. It's heavier than the Oscar.
It's heavier than the Oscar?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So what does it say?
It says a best movie for mature audiences.
Amen.
Dune, right here.
Great.
It is a mature movie. The whole point was to try to make Star Wars for adults. That means Star Wars for mature people.
It's great. It's great. Thank you.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you.